Alright, somebody actually told me that this is an exploit. No, it is not a freaking exploit. Exploits is like actually throwing stickies at a freaking boss and then switching to a different mode or some shit to actually do some heavy, insane damage. So let me show you how this is not an exploit. Look at this. So I got the highest underbarrel damage for this gun possible, I think. I don't know. The Lumine, the Lahan, whatever it's called. And let's see. I got this. I don't use no rep kits and I don't use no crit knives. I just have it equipped just for the Deadeye. And I have 2 calibers. So, you know, if you have more than 3 Deadeyes, just so you know, the extras don't stack. So nothing changes if you have more than 3 Deadeye. So might as well have 2 caliber. I got this that actually amps my damage. And I got this that actually gives me more critical hit damage. And gives me critical hit damage, like I said, and gun damage. And here's the beautiful part. I'm using nothing but Apophis Lance. With Apophis Lance, I can be able to actually use metal management, which means that I don't run out of underbarrels for 2 seconds. If you try to use Bullet Buddy, like this here, this replenishes your gun's ammo. However, it does not work with underbarrels. So, therefore, I use this right here, battery subscription. That way I can keep some of my charges whenever I make contact with an enemy. And I can use this right here. With this point inspect and awe, any shots that's fired, you know, if you hit them with this taser, you gain crit shots for a duration of 2 seconds. So all you gotta do is just zap them, shoot, zap them, shoot. And you pretty much do this with almost every enemy. And sometimes if you're not making contact with a lot of enemies, you will lose your charges and therefore it goes into cooldown. So that's why sometimes you want to have a lot of enemies or just have one big boss in front of you that we can keep spamming and tasing and just shooting. So this right here will give you critical damage. I used to have 5 points into Brain Dump. However, this only gives you a critical hit chance, which means it's not always a guaranteed critical hit. This actually just gives you a possible crit. Sometimes you'll get bigger crits from this, sometimes you don't. So I took that off and actually put it here. Why have this at all when you could just put this in here? All you gotta do is slide. If you don't want to have it in here, you must be lazy because you probably don't want to slide. All you gotta do is just slide like this. Slide. That's it. You don't have to slide a long time. All you gotta do is just slide and that's it, and just fire. You know. So basically, what I do when I'm about to fight a boss, I actually just go ahead and slide at the right opportunity, get out my taser, use the underbarrel, and shoot. So I'm gonna show you how this is not an exploit because all the crits just stack up. You know. I'm gonna get this out, slide, tase them, and there you go. I even did this with 2 friends in here. You know, when you have people in your server, they're enemies. When you have people in your server, their health is buffed. You know, so I tried this with 2 other people, and you know, so I'm gonna go ahead, tase them, and then look at that. So 1 shot. And I'm on Rank Bolt Hunter 5. I tried this with 2 other people in here, and I still managed to one-shot them thanks to this, because this gives you more critical chance. This gives you a bigger, higher crit. And with metal management, beautiful, you can keep replenishing your ammo. And this is the gun I use. However, if I don't want to use this, you can just use stuff like the beam tosser. And don't mind this. This is just a noisy cricket. It's a modded gun. I just use this to get around. I don't use modded weapons to kill things because, you know, I understand some people want to use modded weapons because there's nothing else going on in the game. It gets boring, so I might as well use modded stuff to make things more interesting. But sometimes if I want to do things other than just one-shotting things with this, I just like to use this right here. Like I said, the Apophis Lance, the metal management skill, it gives you unlimited underbarrel ammo for 2 seconds. So all you gotta do is just let me pop this real quick, which cools down my. You know, I can't use a triple bypass to cool down my action skill multiple times because of how things got set up. So you see, I quit to my underbarrel. I just spam this, and I don't run out of underbarrel ammo. I just spam this, and I gain 2 seconds. Well, it's been more than 2 seconds than I fired my last shot, but you get the idea. But with this, all I gotta do is just go here, just slide just a little bit, zap them, gain double crits, and just go bam. You know, and you be one-shotting any boss, at least until the new DLC boss comes out. Then you probably won't be able to do shit. I don't know, depends on how everything goes. All right, peace.